After those two games, what do you feel like is the biggest thing you learned about your team being able to go in and win those?
That we got a lot of fight in us, no matter where we go. I feel like we're definitely a determined team this year that works hard and focuses on what needs to be focused on, the task at hand. And we got a lot of really hard workers and a lot of guys, depth-wise, ready to help us.
For you personally, getting named to that all-tournament team, what do you feel like was working best for you in those games?
I just felt like I went there and I played my game and got comfortable. That's what I just try to do. I try to establish myself early in the game and just go out there and just play, senseless at hand, knowing what I'm supposed to do, but also play within the game plan and just be aggressive when I can.
Along those lines, Ice, I think the thing that was really impressive was your team needed you to score points in the Syracuse game, and you did. Your team didn't necessarily need points. They needed other things out of you against Ole Miss, and you had that kind of game. I mean, you had two very different games, but both really good.
Yeah, I don't really try to pride myself on just points. Me and my versatility and the way my game is, my team might need different things from me every night. So, the first game we had a couple of guys that was not going offensively, so I had to pick up the scoring. And the second game, we had everybody clicking on all cylinders, so, we didn't need as much scoring from me. I just try to do whatever my team needs for me to do that game that night.
How much fun is it the second way when you're kind of directing the show and just watching everybody it's like watching fireworks go off all over the floor?
I have fun either way. I just like winning at the end of the day. Like whenever we get off the court and it's a win, I'm happy regardless.
You struggled at the rim sometimes earlier in the year. Was there anything different in Brooklyn?
Not really. I just stayed aggressive, and when I got to the rim, I just tried to finish through contact when I can.
That victory against Ole Miss, going into that game, did anyone expect it to be that big a victory?
Not really. You don't expect that in college basketball too much, but we went out there and we executed our game plan and stuck to it, and we played aggressive and played hard for the whole 40 minutes. So that was the outcome.
What's kind of been the key defensively, especially in that game? And you guys, they scored less than you won by.
We played the same defensive game that we do every game, pressuring the ball, being in the passing lanes. And, sometimes some things just went our way, like a rebound might have bounced our way, just little stuff like that. But also that's a testament to us playing real hard and just being active all over the floor. York was blocking shots, I was stealing the ball. Everybody was just out there active, diving on loose balls. And that's what we try to just pride ourselves on.
Can you kind of sense, I don't know if momentum's the right word, but when you start getting rolling like that, especially late in that first half, do you sense how things are going like that?
I really don't,
Okay.
because I'm just out there on the floor. You can feel the momentum shift a little bit, but when you're out there on the floor, you're just constantly thinking, all right, what needs to get done next? What needs to get done next? You can't really just focus on the whole game at hand. But whenever the fans is watching, they can see on TV, like, all right, things starting to shift.
What's this feel like for a team that last year went through, so much adversity, had to rely on, just 4 or 5 guys, 6 guys playing, now to have this kind of compliment, this kind of confidence? How does this feel for a guy who went through all of it?
Really, honestly, it doesn't really feel like anything, to be honest. If you ask me, 7-0, yeah, but it's like there's no rewards for it. We still haven't even got to conference play. So, whenever you get into that, it's 0-0. So right now, really, we just taking it one game at a time, focusing on Wednesday night. And in those 40 minutes, we can't get too ahead of ourselves, and we just got to remain humble and focus every night on what needs to be done for that night and that night only.
What do you guys see in Georgetown coming up?
We haven't watched film on them just yet, but just for me watching them play, they got a hard-playing team. They got talented scorers on their team, and obviously a legendary guy as a coach. So, it's going to be a hard one, and everybody comes in here and they always play hard. So, we're just going to go out there and try to execute whatever the game plan is for us.
Can you talk about what Cam McGriff means to the team? Obviously, he hasn't had the best starts scoring-wise, but he does do things that don't necessarily show up in the box score that are huge.
A lot of people really don't notice that, which is crazy. Cam, he gets a lot of clutch offensive rebounds for us that gives us another opportunity, which he might not be the one to score it, but it might get Lindy another open 3 or Diz another open 3. Cam does a lot of things that go unnoticed, but it's definitely vital for us as a team and that we need.
How proud of you, your classmate? He had a huge weekend or week as well in New York.
Very proud of him. That's like my brother right there. and just him being happy all the time and just working hard all the time, and him just really focusing on his game and his craft, what he needs to do to be better every day and be successful is what's showing up now on the court for him. So it's happy to see him out there balling and having fun.
He
What was it?
mentioned on the radio that you guys wanted to make a statement after the Ole Miss game. Is this kind of a coming out party for you guys a little bit too nationally, you think?
I mean, I don't really know.
Yeah.
You know, this my first time even winning in college basketball, so I don't really
Okay.
know how it goes. But you know, I'm just staying focused on one game at a time, and whatever the end result is, I just want it to be the peak for us as a team. So if our peak as a team is, you know, A, then you know I want that to be. I just don't want to underachieve than what I feel like we should have. So.
I don't know if you answered this already, but you know, how does it feel to be able to play the way you guys played in Coach Morton's home backyard?
It felt great, you know, him just being around his people, you know, his family coming out there. And, you know, who doesn't want to go back home and win games and just enjoy the time there? For instance, like going to his high school and seeing him recollect with his old coaches and stuff. It was just a great feeling. And then winning in his hometown, you could tell it meant a lot to him.
And you guys practice in his high school gym, right?
Yes, sir, we
So
practice.
how was that experience being able to go back where he played ball in practice?
It was really cool, you know, Coach B, he gets out there and practices with us, and that's what he did over there. And it was just a cool experience to have with him, you know. You could see he was really enjoying it and enjoying himself.
Did you get to see another side of him that you guys may not have seen before, you know, him being in Brooklyn?
Nah, man, he always opens up to us. He's an open guy with us.
What did you think of that gym? Because they kind of tried to describe that high school gym. It's like third floor maybe, or third level down. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, we had to go up like 4 or 5 flights of stairs. I can't remember. But yeah, you ain't even got to stretch before getting on the court. You're already warmed up going up the stairs.
What'd you think of his dance moves after that Ole Miss game?
It was funny. You know, Coach B tries to stay on, like, he tries to stay hip with what we do, and you know, it's just good to see him enjoying himself.
Patrick Ewing might be a little bit before your time, a little bit growing up. But what do you know about him and his place in basketball?
You know, obviously just from past talks about him and watching some games, you know, I see what everybody was talking about, especially when it comes to that era of basketball. I don't really focus on that era too much. You know, I'm more of my era type of guy. But, you know, I definitely respect what he's done for the game, and I know his impact that he's had on the game.
Is that hoodie, is that pretty your era? Your hoodie, is that pretty your era?
Yeah, this is part of my era right here. This is part of my era.